welcome to this week's episode of Cooking with Connie. So we are going to make a gluten-free, sugar-free Scotcharoo bars, and these are going to be really good because we're going to add some really good nutrients by adding some quinoa puffs to it. We'll talk a little bit about that further. But I'm starting off in my saucepan. I'm doing a half batch, so I'll give you the recipe full batch. But I got a half a cup of my monk fruit, or my Lancado maple syrup, and then the golden monk fruit allulose. So I've got those in here. We're going to be stirring this, and we're going to bring this to a boil. Now once I get this boiling, I'm going to start adding my other things in there. So I'm going to add a half a cup of my peanut butter, and I've got my all-natural peanut butter that doesn't have any sugar added to it. We're going to be using our butterscotch, sugar-free butterscotch chalk zero chips, and our milk chocolate chips to it. And then we'll add our quinoa to it, and then it goes in the pan, and it's as simple as that. We'll let it set up. So we'll start this, I'll let it come to a boil, and then I'll show you as we go along how this is going to go. So, all right, so we've got our syrup and our sugar boiling, and I'm adding the peanut butter. All right, we're going to stir that in. Then we're going to add in our different chocolate chips. So we're going to do 3/4 of a cup of each of them. Put these in when they're hot, and then they'll melt up pretty good. We love our chalk zero chips. They just are very versatile to make our treats that we make. I better turn that stove top off there. All right, and then here's the milk chocolate, and then we'll stir all this up. Once we get all this melted together, then we're going to add in 3 cups of our quinoa puffs. Now just a little bit about the quinoa. We're using this, the original recipe called for Rice Krispies, and so I found these quinoa puffs. I thought they would be a great addition. They're gluten-free. They're actually a complete protein. Quinoa is actually kind of a superfood. It's got lots of nutrients in it. So these are really going to be a pretty healthy bar because they won't have the sugar, and then they'll have all the additional benefits of the quinoa in here. So I'm really excited about this combination. So we're going to go ahead and put this in here, and then we'll come back. We'll get it all spread out in our 8x8 pan, and then we'll let it sit up in the fridge, and then we'll cut it. So as you can see, these are pretty fine, but they are nice and crunchy in the bars. I made these this weekend, and you could use this as a cereal, but I think you could make a really mean Rice Krispie treats out of these too, although we call them quinoa treats. So we'll be back in a little bit once we get this all set up and get our final product as I stir this all together. Hey guys, we are back, and here are our finished product. These are our Scotcharoos, and remember we used quinoa, so we used the puffed quinoa, and I got this on Amazon. So you can easily buy the puffed quinoa on Amazon, and you can take this really delicious and nutritious snack for your kids, for yourself, whoever needs it, but it really is tasty, and it's really easy to do. I will tell you that gets pretty thick, so I kind of used my hands to knead that and then spread it out in my pan. I didn't really want to do that on the air, so that's how I got this to look this way, and then I just set it up in the refrigerator to let it set up. So that's this week's episode of Cooking with Connie for a delicious, nutritious morning snack, afternoon snack, whenever. Quinoa is your go-to. Check it out. You'll get some whole grains in and a really tasty treat. So remember, like, share, subscribe for all of our gluten-free, sugar-free creations, because we're just going to keep creating new things. So keep on coming back, and remember this week to make some good choices.